Hello everyone, this is Eirill speaking in the Phantasmal Princess configuration. I would like to show you 4 clips where I go solo and 3 smaller scale actions with my friends from Midnight Mayhem and Draugr. Please note, standard Phantasm builds are almost unstoppable in duels, so not many of those duels were fair. Ah yes, a roaming thief. Bane of many World vs World players. One approaches me right now, and I pretend not to see him. I just switch weapons to the scepter sword. I need 2 phantasms as soon as possible. Defender, to minimize the damage dealt to me, and as many swordsmen as possible to kill the thief. Phantasms don't have reaction time. I do. I definitely shouldn't have used curtain detonation that soon. When Shadow Refuge appeared, I could have pulled the thief out of it, which would probably end this fight faster. This thief build blinds a lot, which makes it really hard to create those phantasms. Blinds are the worst possible condition for me. I cannot pull, I cannot cast phantasms, I cannot, well, actually do anything. Even if I do not see a channeled skill, like Scepter 3 deal damage, the thief is still being damaged, unless he is behind me. Channeled skills require only starting to be cast. If you are not blinded, a channeled phantasm will appear, or Scepter 3 deals full damage. Please notice, clones and pets stand doing nothing when a thief is invisible, but when he becomes visible, they will move. Ranger's pet or a clone is your friend. For me, the most exciting matchup is always a mirror match, fighting against a fellow mesmer. The mesmer I am fighting against seems to be a fatter mesmer, using staff and sword pistol configuration with 20 points in dueling. He doesn't seem to be in Berserker though, more like cleric, judging the healing power. If he was Berserker, this battle would finish very fast. Doesn't really matter. He is a worthy opponent, and the battle is fun to watch. Battles like this can take ages. The player who makes several mistakes first will lose. I have an inherent advantage. Fatter Mesmer is mostly about burst damage, while Phantasm is about sustained damage, setting up the pawns and letting the pawns, your phantasms, fight for you. Your role is to have the proper composition of phantasms. Think about it as about a strategy game. What do you need to win? Phantasmal Disenchanter to destroy their buffs and drop your conditions? Or Defender to reduce incoming damage and deal more retaliation damage? Do you need any of those, or you need more swordsmen? When to immobilize to prevent enemy dodges? When to pull an enemy using curtain detonation? When to place a warden to stand inside the bubble deflecting enemy projectiles? Basically, when I play the Phantasm Mesmer, I play a slightly different Guild Wars game. It still is about killing people and positioning, but now I have more tools at my disposal, and deciding which phantasms to cast and which ones not to cast is often a crucial element of this puzzle. The problem with fighting the mesmer is often in acquiring the target. Not because a mesmer is hard to find, I rarely have problems with that. It's because you lose a second or two when you select your target manually, using your mouse or tabbing, and during this time the skills get out of cooldown. Distortion Fatter is an awesome defensive tool. I was almost sure I would have a kill here, but he distorted and neither the warden dealt damage nor an enemy was pulled. Fortunately, I've got 45 seconds, at least 45 seconds, before another distortion comes into play. He cast Chaos Storm, cast Phase Retreat so he got Chaos Armor, and blinked away. So my Scepter 3 skill got outranged and I couldn't deal him any damage. When a non-greatsword mesmer puts his hand high into the air and holds it like that, it means probably mass invisibility skill is being cast. This is the only elite having a relatively short cooldown when you are a mesmer, one very useful for roaming. Seems enemy tried to change the strategy to adapt to my high armor, and he put up several clones to deal me condition damage. The plan is actually very good because I didn't notice, but my food ran out. Fortunately for me, I can use Phantasmal Warden to create a safe place, and afterwards use Temporal Curtain to pull all the clones and an enemy together into one spot, the spot where the Warden lies. As the previous strategy didn't work, he changed strategy again, tried to burst me down, and he almost made it. I managed to slip away with low hit points, heal and set up a block. My enemy went for a kill and got blocked, and in the same time Swordman striked. Damage from block and damage from Swordman. I got lucky. I know there is a Guardian commander and a thief. They didn't want to fight me in the open, wanting to lure me to the camp, so I decided to lure them out by attacking the dolyaks. Having knight armor of Melandru and some mixed ascended trinkets, I don't have the firepower to kill a guardian, or stomp a thief, especially under potential guardian's fire. So I decided to dance with them trying to kill the dolyaks. Over here, I am abusing Decoy, Phantasmal Defender and Seal of Energy. I am moving a lot. As I do not shatter clones, after each decoy they need to reacquire target. This isn't very easy. Although most of the time I am visible, in Sword Focus configuration I have Blood Frenzy, and in Scepter Sword I use blocks. Hitting me requires proper timing, and they are under pressure of trying to save the dolyaks. The dolyak killing takes a lot of time because the Guardian tries to protect them with his defensive boons. Guardian's Bubble knocked Warden Phantasm and stopped his attack, and the knockdown also opened me to attack from a thief. Fortunately, Curtain Detonation helps here a lot. I am trying to use Temporal Curtain in 3 ways. To give me swiftness, so I can run faster and dance away. To pull enemies, disorienting them and breaking their skills. To cripple enemies if they pass the curtain. Notice how I immobilize and jump away out of range of their weapons. I simply need to avoid being damaged too much. I am in control of this fight because they want to save the dolyak. To be honest, in this clip there isn't much my enemies could have done. They lack crowd control skills, and I play a mobile and armored mesmer with 2 stun breaks. The only chance was that I focused on them, not on dolyaks, and in that case I might have died to retaliation or something. Or they would wait till my block animation ends. This way I forced them to be in offense against me when I want to be hit. Having a good party mate is a great force multiplier, and there aren't many people as good to have in party as Brimhorn. Those enemies here we have met before, but there were 3 of them and we were ready. This time I made a fatal mistake, didn't notice Brim is away. They are my first experiments with knight armor, and it has ruby orbs, not runes of Melandru, so control skills and conditions hit me harder than usual. The result? I'm downed. An enemy makes a fatal mistake. They aggro tower guards. Additionally, nobody really tries to stomp me, nor they even hit me to stop me healing. This buys Brimhorn some time to stomp one of them, and I return to the fight. If I was hit only once, I wouldn't have made it. Remember, always, always break healing on your downed enemies and go for easy kills. The enemies let Brimhorn control the fight. If they kited me in the down state, not much Brimhorn could have done to save me. As you might have seen in the distance, Brim alone couldn't kill the downed opponent while that one has been healed. Combined forces of me, Brim and the tower guard is more than enough to end this battle in our favor. This clip is a great example of 2 things. How teamwork can save your hide when you miserably fail, and how lack of teamwork can doom you. Sometimes in your life you happen to stumble upon a ballista on the way under the cannon support fire. You have 2 opportunities. Either you act like a hero and deal some minuscule damage, almost dying in the process, as you can see here, Or you can listen to your fellow thieves and go in with a Shadow Refuge. The Shadow Refuges, I think, stack duration, both with each other. That is why the temporal curtain wasn't used while approaching. If we had voice chat, we could coordinate a bit better, but we didn't. Anyway, I should have cast Time Warp here, on the initial strike, so the damage would be higher and the stomp would be faster. Shadow Refuge is a great thief utility skill. Please consider using it. Important. If you are downed and have a Shadow Refuge cast upon you, do not attack revealing your position. Hearing the calls for assistance in Vale from a PHO member, our group of 3 wander as soon as we could. A moment too late. Couldn't save him with curtain detonation. We could avenge his death though. Drew managed to cast Entangle to immobilize enemies. Entangle basically means no dodging and all that stuff, and this directly led to death of 2 of the enemy players. Anytime someone says rangers are useless in parties, I point them to Turkov or Drew. Those guys prove that ranger is a great party material. Lots of blinds from Sumian, Necromancer and Plague Form. Blinds are the condition I hate the most. I can't survive efficiently without Phantasmal Defender, or damage without Phantasmal Swordsman. And in both configurations, Sword Focus and Scepter Sword, I have a first skill very inefficient in dropping this condition. Low on hit points, retreat and regroup. Drew pushed forward with the veterans from the camp. Sadly, I used Blink a moment ago, so without chasing skills, I cannot assist him now. The double block you see when I approach the warrior is very damaging, especially when it crits. It does not block crowd control skills, so for example, the pushing back arrow will not block but push me back. A weakness of this build. Enemies have been pushed back and the forces at Briar return to resupply. Hello Donia, nice to see you. We have stumbled upon a group of fighting Riversides and Paganites. Initially, we didn't notice they are fighting. We thought it was one server only, so we charged in. As we are outmanned and Astralholm was ours anyway, this is a nice way to teleport to base the lazy way, without using a map. Besides, learning foreign tactics is always good, right? Meow is using her Dagger Storm, which soon leads to her being downed to retaliation damage. An enemy guardian puts up a barrier, so all the projectiles from Eirill and Drew are reflected towards them. Tydas is flanking enemies, taking most fire, so I can resurrect Meow. And I made it. We know the priority is to focus fire on downed enemies, so they don't rally. Drew, Eirill and Meow force enemies away from the downed, while Tydas and I focus on execution. Enemies cast AoEs under the fallen, so my phantasms disappear and we cannot risk stomping. When I cannot change weapons due to cooldowns, I treat blocks like distortion skill. Have it up hoping I will damage someone and avoid damage, and sometimes it works. Eirill got downed here to a Riverside mesmer. I made 2 mistakes. 1. I should have used Time Warp to accelerate resurrecting. 2. I should have started resurrecting as soon as possible without casting a defender. I didn't expect a mesmer behind us. Enemies weren't numerous anymore, so we decided to res Eirill and let them be. Riverside attacked us, 2 versus 5. That's one good suicidal move. One we wanted to do in the beginning, attacking them, so we treated them like we would like to be treated. We killed them with utmost respect. Thank you very much for watching, hope you liked the video. Eirill is out.